Hi everybody, I'm Trish Jassa with eXp Realty, and today I'm going to talk about signs. What kind of signs? Well, real estate signs, of course. So if you're a new agent, you're thinking, well, what kind of signs will I need? I'll need signs for sale. And there you have two options. The for sale sign could be a post or a frame. And it really depends on a couple of things. Your budget, your town, and your sign. So look at those three factors. Then, in addition to for sale signs, the ones that go in front of the house and say for sale, you'll probably want open house directionals because you'll probably have open houses. And so think about having at least 6 directionals and plan on losing or destroying a couple, so you might want to order about 10 of those. um, Banners. Banners are really cool. You can now get banners that say open house, and they really stand out even when somebody's parked in front of the house and hiding your directional. So a banner might be a great idea. um, some towns will allow you to do for sale directionals. That's the sign that points to the street where your listing is and says home for sale this way. But make sure that you're allowed to use those. If you are, that's great marketing. They're not expensive, they're really worthwhile. So those are for sale directionals. Next thing that you might want is if you have a generic sign that says for sale eXp Realty but doesn't have your name on it, which it should, but just in case you want to not do that or borrow somebody else's sign, for sale sign, before you have your own, you can get a directional that's a little sign writer. Usually it's 6 inches by 24, and it can have your name, Trish Jassa, and a phone number. So mine actually says a little call, Trish Jassa, and my number, 720 blah blah blah. Okay. So sign writers are good for that. They're also good for pointing something out that's not so obvious. Like we have mountain views here in Colorado, but you don't necessarily know from the front of the house whether you have mountain views. So mountain views would be a great sign writer. Another great sign writer would be Baxter Golf Course, or prettier, inside than out, in case you have a house that's not so gorgeous on the outside. These sign writers are pretty inexpensive, so there's some stock sign writers most sign companies sell, and you can pick from that, or you can have custom signs made, again, not very expensive. And use your imagination. Get people excited by what they're seeing out there, okay? Before you order your signs, make sure you know what your local sign ordinances are. Every town is different. Some are more different than others in different states, but they may have requirements such as no bigger than 24 by 24, or no posts, only frames. So check into the sign ordinances for the towns that you normally will work. Once you know that, then you know whether you're getting a post or a frame. Posts, by the way, are sexier, they're more expensive, they're a bit of a pain to install and store, but they really stand out, they look really nice. Frames are cheaper, easier to store, to install, so there are pros and cons on both, and you have to decide what's right for you and your business. Now, let's see. Are you developing your own brand and logo? Or do you want a simple sign? At eXp Realty, we have all sorts of templates that we can choose from. And they could have our picture on it or not have our picture on it, and just our name and phone number, certainly our logo. Or you can design your very own logo. Beware, most states, the Real Estate Commission requires that you actually have clear identification of your broker. So in our case, we have to have eXp Realty logo on it. Okay. Now, when you're brand new to the business, I'd say go with your company sign. and use the power of the company behind you until you get established, and then you might develop your own branding and logo, okay? So the next question might be, well, how many am I going to have to buy? And that depends. So very important is that you have a plan for your business. And that plan drives everything, including how many signs to buy. So the plan, for example, for your first year might be to get 6 listings and 10 buyers. That means you will need to have signs on 6 listings. However, those 6 listings, you're not going to have them all at the same time. And so chances are you don't need 6 signs. But you might have 3 listings at the same time, and they might be on corners, so you could have 2 signs, or they might back to a golf course or a path, a trail in the back. So you would want a sign in the front and in the back to get the most out of your marketing. And there also, when you purchase signs, there is a price break when you order more. But you don't want to order too many. So if you're a brand new agent, I would say, depending on like really your business plan, how many listings you're going to get, I would go to the price break of 5 if you're going to have 6 listings, or 10 if you're going to have more. But just look at the price breaks and order accordingly. And if you're not sure, comment below and I'll help you out, okay? So for open houses, you'll want at least 10 signs, 10 open house signs, directionals. Those are pretty inexpensive. And same thing with for sale directionals. Let's see. Now, something that you should know about is that in some areas there are companies that install signs for you. So in case you're not the type to go and get your hands dirty and put a sign up, check with your local colleagues and see if there's a company. We have a workplace group, and we can ask that in our state group, and if there is a company like that, somebody will know about it and share that information. So that could be really handy if you're if you have like 10, 12 listings and you don't want to run around putting signs up and taking signs down, etc. Next thing, certain neighborhoods for sale signs are not allowed. And in some cases, condos will allow them in the windows or not. So be sure that you're aware of what the rules are, not just for the town, but for the neighborhood where you're selling. Quick little tip. I farmed a neighborhood that didn't allow signs, not in the window, not anywhere. So anytime I had an open house, I would plaster the entire neighborhood with directionals saying open house this way, that way, just all pointing to the open house. And that used to get me a lot of business and a lot of neighbors stopping by, which got me more listings. So there's a tip for you. Now, in terms of purchasing, there are a bunch of companies out there that do a really good job. Build a Sign, D-Sign, you name it. And they'll work with most of the major companies and even with a lot of smaller real estate companies. And those are great. However, my suggestion is that you also check with your local sign company. It's good to support your local economy, your local businesses, and you'll save on shipping. You'll also be able to develop a relationship with the owner or whoever works there and potentially get business out of them. So there's another tip for you. Your broker or mentor can help you with all these details of getting your signs, and I hope this was helpful to you. If it is helpful, hit the thumbs up below, and comments and questions are welcome. Thanks for watching.